In the previous section, we had looked at simple interest. For simple interest, the interest is going to be calculated once for the period of the loan or investment, and we can figure out how much the interest is going to be charged using the formula I is equal to PRT. Under simple interest, the interest charged is only based upon the initial principal P, the interest rate, and then the time that the money is in the account. We're now going to look at compound interest. Now, the key difference between simple interest and compound interest is under compound interest, the interest is going to be earned at regular intervals. It's going to be computed based upon not only what that initial principal was, but any accumulated interest that the account has earned along the way. So interest is going to be computed on previously earned interest. Under simple interest, that wasn't the case. In that case, interest was only computed based upon the initial principal. Compound interest will have money grow much faster than under simple interest. So let's take a look at one scenario so you can see how things are a little bit different under compound interest versus simple interest. In this scenario, there is an investment of $1,000, and we'll just say this investment is going to be at 10% APR. Now for this example, this is going to be considered to be money that's maybe deposited into an account, as opposed to it being a loan. So at the end of the first year under simple interest, the interest that's going to be charged on the account is 10% of $1,000 or $100. So this is using the formula I is equal to PRT, where there's the principal, there's the rate, and then the time elapsed is 1 year. At this point in time, the balance on the account is going to be $1,100. It was the previous $1,000 plus the $100 that we've accrued right now, so now we're at $1,100. And the account grew then by $100. At the end of the second year, the account will earn another 10% on the $1,000, or it will earn $100. At this point in time, now the account will be at $1,200. At the end of the third year, the account will earn $100, so now overall the account is at $1,300. If we expand this out, at the end of the 10th year, the interest that was going to be earned on the account is just going to be I equals PRT, so the principal is $1,000, the rate is 10%, and then the time elapsed would always be over the course of 1 year. And now overall the account's balance is going to be at $2,000. At the end of 50 years, the account is going to grow by $100, and then the overall value in the account is $6,000. So where did these overall balances come from? I used this formula. The A is equal to P parentheses 1 plus RT. So every year that elapses, the account is only going to grow by $100. Because in order to compute that growth, we're only going to look at whatever that initial investment was. Now let's take a look at what's going over here under compound interest. Now, in order to help kind of clarify or compare these two cases, we're going to look at what's called yearly compound interest. So we had mentioned up here that the interest is earned at regular intervals, and one of the intervals you could have is at the end of every year. Okay, we're going to talk about other intervals in a moment. Now at the end of the first year, if $1,000 is deposited into this account, you're going to earn 10% of $1,000 or $100. So now the overall balance in the account is $1,100, and it grew by $100. Doesn't look much different from what the simple interest case looks like. But here's where things are going to start getting interested. At the end of the second year, you're going to earn 10% on $1,100, because that is what the current balance in the account is. At this point in time, you would now earn $110 in interest, and the overall balance in the account is $1,210. At the end of the third year, you're going to earn 10% on the $1,210, that current account balance. Now notice this current account balance is being affected by not only what your initial deposit was, so that initial principal, but it also is impacted by the interest payments earned along the way. So at the end of the third year, the overall account balance is $1,331. Now expanding this forward, at the end of the 10th year, the interest that's going to be earned on the account is $235.79. So this is going to be the overall account balance. And at the end of the 50th year, the interest payment alone is going to be $10,671.90. And the overall account balance at that point in time is going to be $117,390.85. So notice, at the end of 50 years, this account obviously grew much faster. Now, where did these overall balance amounts and these interest amounts come from? We're going to explore those formulas in this chapter.